Hey, what's up, guys? It's been a while since I did a video, probably maybe 2 years even. It's because I haven't got anything new that whole time since I wanted to keep. It's like I was buying the stuff to flip it, and when I'm flipping it, I don't have the passion to even talk about it. You know, I'm buying it to make money. I don't even feel like doing a video on it. But this one is a different story. If you guys follow my IG, I've been posting progress pictures of this for the past year. I've been waiting for the knife a hell of a lot longer than that. It's a Kyle Royer. He is a sought after maker and has a very long list, and it took me a long time to get this knife. The list is even longer now. It's years and years and years. I hear the list is up to 6 years now, but I did my time, and now it's finally in my hand. I got it a little while ago. I actually sent it out to get the sheath made. It came with a sheath, but it just wasn't of the quality of this one. This one's made by Paul Long, and you guys are into the old school stuff. You might know Paul Long. He's the sheath master. If you go to Barnes & Noble's, there's Paul Long DVDs on how to make a sheath. He's the sheath master. Also want to give a shout out to Chris Crowley. He's another awesome sheath maker. But Paul, quick and good. Where should I start? First, glad to finally have it in my hands done. Like I said, I had to ship it out, so that was nerve-wracking to get the sheath custom fit perfectly. Glad that happened. Now, as you guys know me, you're watching this video, you know my channel. I'm normally a folder collector. I like modern tactical folders, but you guys also know that I like an old school style as well. Like, some of my folders are very old school. And the taste, that's where this taste comes from for me. You guys might not like a knife of this style. Having a guard here. I'll pull it out of the sheath. First off, the sheath. Paul Long, masterfully done. In the integrated belt loop. It's all molded. You see the back is molded. That's stiff. That's staying that way. The quilting, the frog skin inlay looks great. It's almost like an amber. It's a dark brown, but it also kind of looks amberish, almost orange, especially on this video screen. The sheath is a really dark brown. In person, it almost looks like Hershey chocolate bar. You know how you look at a Hershey chocolate bar in the sunlight? It almost has that brick redness to it in the sun. Not sure if he's ever done that, but if you look at chocolate in the sun, the brown almost turns to this type of color. Almost looks like chocolate and caramel in a way. Love this sheath. Super high quality. It's awesome. I just love it. So happy with it. Was worth sending this out, shipping, insuring it, and taking the risk. Now again, you guys might not be into this style knife. You gotta appreciate old school style stuff, because this old school fighter, man, it's hard to fit this knife even. Let me see if I can back this up. No, I can't. Big knife. Big ass knife. This is a big ass knife. I was looking up when does a knife become a short sword and a sword. They were saying 16 inches. You're pushing sword territory. 14 inches, you can call it a short sword. Well, this is 10 1/4, so I guess it's just big ass knife category, because it's freaking huge. I was surprised how big it is. I knew I was ordering a 10-inch blade, but just when I got it in my hand, I was like, holy shit, this thing is damn large. But I love it. That's cool. This thing will kill a freaking bear. Feather Damascus. Again, the old school. You gotta appreciate old school. This is blacksmith style, hand-forged blade. The blade was made hammering at the shape. Of course, he finished it and ground it to clean it up, but it was beat with a hammer to shape. The tang, which is a full frame tang, which is better in my opinion. I have another knife that has a hidden tang, has a whole one-piece walrus ivory handle, but the tang is just stuck in the ivory, where this one has a frame. Now it's not a full tang, it's not just stock removal, you know, a full tang, it's a frame. There's a frame built, as you can see. Let me try and get some close-ups. This knife has details for days. Okay, here's your butt cap. Here's where my tang goes through the frame. This frame is actually catching, it's like a cage, catching this tang. It's a 1/4 inch thick, so you got a really thick tang inside here. This isn't the tang, this is a frame. The tang is in here about this wide, and it's captured within this frame, so it can't go anywhere. And then to top it off, it's screwed, you know, the tang pokes its head out the butt cap, and you screw it tight with this awesome pommel nut. Let me show you this pommel nut. Need to get the detail of that Damascus. Yeah, there you go. See the Damascus on that pommel nut? Look at that. Trying to make a focus. Now, it serves two purposes, obviously. Damn, man. Come on, focus. Focus, bitch. Okay. Obviously, that's an awesome skull crusher. It's almost sharp. I mean, that thing hurts. But it's the pommel nut. Very nice pommel nut. I love it. Feather Damascus butt cap, and all the feather goes in the same direction. It's a 20,000 layer Damascus, which is insane. That's why it looks so fine. You can see the Damascus is almost blended to oblivion, but you can see the feather. Here's your center. Again on the guard. Let me try and get to, there you go. Feather on the guard, same on the bottom. Now the whole blade, big long feather. And with long blades, the feather is hard to keep that line straight. Kyle is a master at his craft, and he is one of the few that can do over a 10-inch blade in feather. You'll see other guys do feather, but it's going to be small blades. Pay attention to the blade length. You're not going to see 10-inch feathers. And if you do, they took advantage of one of their billets that came out good. They said, damn, this is a good one. I got to make a big blade out of it, because it doesn't happen every day for most, is what I hear. Kyle has a system to where he can do it repeatedly. It's a double edge, that harpoon. It's not just for looks, which I love, because I love the harpoon look, but in general, it's just for looks on most knives. But on this knife, it's not. This is an edge, and that's why this harpoon is here. It's for that edge. That's why it's as prominent as it is. We had to bring the harpoon down to here so we could sharpen it. I just love its aggressive look. Again, it's old school, but it's still my style. Again, you got to appreciate the blacksmith stuff. This guard, you know, all bent with an anvil and a hammer. The blade hammer, the shape, again, 1/4 inch thick stock, very thick. The blade is inlaid into the guard. I'll start going over the details now. The blade is inlaid into the guard. The ricasso is in the guard. He takes a graver tool, digs out the guard, which you can't even see because he did it perfectly. And you won't see any light. Let me get a flashlight. You won't see any light under that blade because it's inlaid. It's in there. The plunge lines. Look at the plunge lines. Look how deep these plunges are. Look at those plunges. You can take your finger and stop right here. Your finger almost gets caught. Like I can almost hold the knife by the plunge. It's so deep, which I love. Again, the knife is very, very sharp. Kyle is a master smith. Here's his maker's mark. And in order to get the master smith stamp, I'm talking like I have a lisp here. Again, they get the Master Smith stamp. You have to prove your worth. You have to make a knife that can do a certain amount of things. You have to cut through, I think, what it is, 2-inch thick rope. Then you have to hack through a 2x4 twice. And after all that, you have to show it still shaves. And then at the very end, you have to bend the knife 90 degrees without it cracking. So you have to prove that the knife is sharp enough. It is hard enough to keep the edge after the first 3 tasks, chopping through the rope, hacking the 2x4, then shaving. So that's proving the hardness of the edge. Then you have to prove it's soft enough not to crack. So you have to find this perfect medium. Let me try and get this pattern, because this pattern is sick. I love this feather pattern. I've seen a million feather patterns, but again, look how fine that is. It's 20,000 layers, which is insanity. Like, ask around if you see a Damascus blade, ask how many layers it is. 20,000 is ridiculous. It's almost funny to hear. It's like he's folding it and folding it and folding it, cutting it in 2s, cutting it in 4s, folding it, folding it. I have oil on the blade, so you can see, you know, it's drying in some places. The spacer here, everything is feather Damascus. The spacers are coined titanium. Again, the frame is still that feather. You can't see it because it's this part of it. Mammoth ivory, big pieces, thick mammoth ivory scales. I picked these out. I love earth tones. And this had the browns, yellows, and greens. And the reverse side is very nice too. And it has some crackle, which I like. There's more crackle on the front show scale. Less green on the front. I like both sides. Both sides to me are nice. What else? I guess that's about it. The sheath. I showed you all the coined titanium spacers. Now I like that because ivory can be moist and ivory can cause rust. Now this ivory is surrounded by titanium, which was my strategy. Kyle let me make this knife full custom. I was able to design it, to design everything. I was able to, the sculpted guard was from me, the harpoon blade, the double edge, the more prominent, everything. He let me design everything. This blade shape, this handle shape is his. But the details, like I said, I want a spacer here, then a Damascus spacer, then another TI spacer. I want TI under the ivory. I want a butt cap with TI. I want this style, pommel knot. I was able to pick all that. One more detail, this guard is sculpted. You can see it. It goes in here. Kyle usually doesn't do that, but I asked for that feature, and I love it. It's just more sculpted and more contoured. To me, there's more work on it, and it's a nicer guard, a nicer, better guard, in my opinion. But toot, you know. A little wider. We had to make the guard wider to be able to taper that. But the width is perfect. It feels great in the hand, although it's a 1/4 inch thick blade stock, 10 inches. It's still very light. Again, with those deep plunges. Still very light. And here it is, finally done. I got it finally after a very long wait, after a year of post and progress pictures. Awesome sheath by Paul Long, fits perfectly, custom fit, frog skin inlay. Beautiful rig. Alright, thanks for checking it out, guys. Hopefully the video looks alright. I noticed it wasn't focusing too good. Alright, don't want to make it too long. It'll take me forever to load it. Peace. Thanks for watching.